Ever get that feeling that your favorite bag of chips has a little more air in it than it used to? Or that your chocolate bar just seems to disappear a bit faster? Well, it's probably not your imagination. Today, we're diving into shrinkflation, the sneaky way we all end up paying more for less.
All right, let's kick things off with a little test. Take a good look at these 3 chocolate bars. Which one do you think is the smallest? Go with your gut. At first glance, it seems kinda obvious, right? And surprise, it was a trick question. The last 2 bars are actually the exact same size. Both of them are 25% smaller than the original one. The only real difference is the shape. It's a clever little design trick meant to fool our eyes. And that visual deception is the perfect intro to what we're talking about today. So let's get right into it. Section 1, the shrinking aisle. Seriously, it's not just you. This is happening all over the supermarket, affecting everything from your morning coffee to your toilet paper. Let's put a name to this tactic. The official term, as you can see, is shrinkflation. And the idea is super simple. You're paying the exact same price, but you're getting less stuff. It's basically inflation in disguise, because companies know we're wired to notice a price hike way more than we notice a slightly smaller package. And this isn't some rare thing that happens once in a while. Just look at this number. In the UK alone, between 2012 and 2017, more than 2,500 products were downsized without the price changing at all. That just shows you how incredibly common this practice has become. Sometimes companies even try to, gaslight us about it. When customers started pointing out that the famous Cadbury cream egg was definitely getting smaller, the company's official response on their website was, and I'm not making this up, "It hasn't, you've just grown up." Of course, it had shrunk, and that denial became a legendary example of corporate spin. But just shrinking the product isn't the only trick in the book. And that brings us to Section 2, inflation's hidden cousins. Because sometimes when shrinking the product isn't enough, companies get even more creative. So meet shrinkflation's sneaky cousin, skimflation. With this one, the size and the price stay the same, but the company quietly swaps out good ingredients for cheaper ones. You're paying the same amount for the same weight, but what you're actually getting is a lesser product. And here's a perfect real-world example. It used to be that in Campbell's cream of potato soup, the #1 ingredient was, potato. Makes sense, right? Well, today, the #1 ingredient is water. The can looks the same, it weighs the same, but the recipe itself has been seriously downgraded. So the big question is, why? Why are companies doing all this? That brings us to Section 3, motive, costs or profits. Is this just something they have to do to cover rising costs? Or is there something else going on? Let's follow the money. Okay, so the official story, the company line, is that their costs are going up. Ingredients, packaging, shipping, you name it. And to avoid scaring us off with a higher sticker price, they just give us a little less product instead. This actually makes sense from their perspective. A Harvard study found that we shoppers are way more sensitive to a price change than a size change. It sounds logical, doesn't it? Just a simple reaction to economic pressure. But is that really the whole story? Well, let's just look at the data. From mid-2020 to mid-2024, inflation went up by about 21%. Okay, that's a big deal. But during that exact same time, corporate profits shot up by a staggering 90%. That's more than 4 times faster. So this suggests that while, covering costs is part of the story, a lot of companies seem to be using inflation as a cover to really boost their profits. So how do they get away with it? Well, they rely on some very clever packaging, knowing that most of us are in a rush and not inspecting every little thing we buy. This leads us to Section 4, deceptive by design. Let's look at the tricks. Oh, the toilet paper industry are masters of this. It's like a 3-pronged attack. First, they make each individual sheet a little bit smaller. Second, they put fewer sheets on the actual roll. And third, to top it all off, they make the cardboard tube in the middle bigger, so the roll still looks nice and fat on the shelf. It's a masterclass in deception, really. Here's another wild one. Skippy peanut butter. With their redesigned jar, you now lose a massive 17% of the product for the exact same price. And if you just look at it from the front, the new jar looks almost identical to the old one. So how'd they do it? Well, the secret is at the bottom. They've added this huge, deep dent in the base of the jar. You would never, ever notice it just sitting on the shelf, but it carves out a huge amount of space where peanut butter used to be. Okay, this all might feel a little discouraging, but here is the good news. You are not powerless. You can absolutely protect yourself. Welcome to our final section, How to Fight Back. It's time to become a savvy shopper. And believe me, people are noticing. The tide is definitely starting to turn. In France, they now require stores to put special labels on products that have been shrunk. In the US, a Shrinkflation Prevention Act has been introduced. And remember Toblerone? Consumer outrage was so huge they were forced to go back to their original design. Even President Biden has called it out, saying, "Give me a break." So what can you do? Here are two simple but super powerful tools for your toolkit. Number one, always check the unit price. Ignore that big sticker price and look for the price per ounce or per sheet or whatever. That's how you do a real comparison. And second, use your voice. Call it out online. As we've seen, public pressure on social media can be a really powerful way to get companies to be more honest. Look, shrinkflation probably isn't going away, but now you know the tricks of the trade. By being a smartest shopper, you really can take back some of that control. So the next time you're at the store, take a closer look and just ask yourself, what in your shopping cart will be the next to shrink?